Welcome this morning to a small, short event of appreciation we wanna give to our special kids. Yes, want to take the opportunity to say good morning to everybody, the staff, sister, and the opportunity for FC Southend and our staff to say what a pleasure it was to spend 8 training sessions with the school. And in saying that, understanding the gist of it, first of all, let me take the opportunity to give God all thanks and praise. Because I remember when I was first asked to do this program, I stalled a little bit and I asked God, help me, please, because I was unsure of what I was going to meet and the difficulties, the challenges. And in saying that, I've coached, I've been around football for such a long time, and I've been all over the world, and I'm talking about maybe 4 continents, spending time with numerous kids and adults. And I thought that this program would have been I was telling my wife that this morning, this program might have been one of my most challenging situation of coaching. I have done numerous amount of certification, and I've done my qualification for coaching in England, and I'm just obtaining my bachelor's degree in sports development at UTT in my final year. But I would tell you this much: what I've gone through here in these 8 sessions, it's nothing compared to anything they've taught me. Nothing compared in Europe dealing with professional athletes and all that. It is absolutely nothing. But I tell you this, it's the best that I've ever spent with anybody in football. I'm telling you, the best. And I've been all over the world. So let me tell you, give yourself a round of applause for that, for sure. I have just a little history. I was born in South Trinidad, grew up in La Brea to be exact. I have spent most of my time, and I use that literally, figuratively, most of my time playing football. And I have played for Trinidad and Tobago from the age of 16. I have captained Trinidad and Tobago, and some of our best players passed through not only Trinidad and Tobago, but probably the Caribbean, the likes of Dwight York and Russell Latapi, Angus Eve, to name a few. So from a small perspective, I've played professional football for 20 years in England, in China, in Scotland, the US, and in Trinidad. I have been a part of the Central FC program for the last year, which has won literally everything in the Caribbean in terms of club football. And now my passion has now evolved to be dealing with kids, and I thank Atlantic and the likes of Tiger Tanks for their support, for giving me and my organization the opportunity to do this program. And I went on about what I did in my career, but it's important to understand, and I want to emphasize on this. Spending the time with these young kids, it's and the challenges that I thought I was facing, it was such a blessing. It was such a blessing, and the coaches and I were talking recently and talking about when we just started to when the last session we did on Tuesday, and how much of a difference you can see with the athleticism of the young man and young woman, in their motor skills, in their movement, in basic understanding and teamwork. We have some clippings. Hopefully, we're planning to do it as an email and a nice little film that we could send it to the school for all the pictures and stuff that we've taken, so that you can see it yourself. That seeing these beautiful young people, how the ability in which people believe that they are different. But I am saying to you, when I was growing up, they believed I was different too. And I thank God for that. Being different is a special ability. And we have to accept and grab that and challenge that every day. And that's what we do in sport. And saying that I think football is the best sport in the world ever. The best sport God ever made was football. So, but it's using football, to see people come together, because football cannot be played by one person. Football cannot be played just by an outfield player as well. You need a goalkeeper, you need a referee, you need linesmen, you need coaches, you need somebody to help with transportation. Can I ask you to stand, please? Please, can we give this young lady a wonderful round of applause as well? And thank you very much. On behalf of my organization as well, we thank you for the support that you've given us. And on saying that, before we push on, I would like to give a small token of appreciation for I don't want to keep you too much longer. Let me introduce my staff. My supervisor for the program is Kenisha Wildman. I'm sorry, yes, Ms. Kenisha Wildman, but she's recently married, so I apologize. And Mr. Edison Smart, our head coach of the program. The other coach who's normally here, he had to work today. And I thank God so much that they called him out today to start back to work, and it's the last day of the program. So I really thank God for that. I'm not keeping it too long because I asked God for some time to go out in the field. I noticed the aunties and them may not be too happy, but I'm telling you today, we're going in the mud. And it's some lovely white clothes. You going in the mud, eh? You going in the mud? Yeah, we're going in the mud, eh? Nice, beautiful. So this is, as I said, a token of appreciation. We have some signed footballs from the coaches. Again, kids, I'm asking you to use it wisely. Don't break too much. Some things go break. Moms, dad, parents, things go break. It go break. But Miss Claudia will help repair because she's so wonderful and helpful and blessed. Let me open the floor for Sister to say a few words before we move on.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Okay, and a special welcome to our guests who have become a part of the Lady Hochoy family. First of all, I would like to say, in the absence of Atlantic, a great big thank you to the people at Atlantic. We have appealed to many of our corporate citizens, and just with one conversation and explanation, Atlantic picked up the challenge because we told them that not only our building needed caring, they came to paint for us, but also our children and our staff members. And that football was a good way in which they could help our children to develop the attitude, skills, and values that would help them to face life in a better way. And they appealed to Mr. Roger and his team. His wife, she was very much instrumental in putting the program together too. And Southend came out, and from the time they came, they were just like people who were here forever. They understood us right off the bat, and we thank them for that, because I think that they too feel that all children can learn. We just have to know how to teach them. So we thank them for their patience. In the beginning, I went down to the field and I saw how the coaches were handling the children. I said, my God, we have to keep these people. They can't just come for a little 8 weeks, because they have such good methods in dealing with the children. And we thank them, and we pray God's special blessings on you. You came out every week. You were here sometimes twice for the week. You were on time. We appreciate what you did. And one of the most important things that I said even from the beginning, Mr. Roger was insistent that the children had the right gear. They had the right gear, and when they got the right gear, we saw a whole big change in their attitude. Right away, they began to play the part. They felt important, they felt special. And sir and miss, thank you all for giving our children that opportunity to feel special and important. Thank you for giving them the opportunity to develop all those skills, values, and attitudes that you all put forward to them, which were all positive ones. And children, we thank you too for making such a great effort, coming out regularly, being in time, and in the main, being of good discipline. And we hope that this is not the end. We hope that this is just the beginning. So once again, God bless Atlantic. God bless Mr. Roger and South End. And we look forward to many, many more sessions that will help you and that will help them. Thank you very much. God bless.
Again, want to emphasize a little bit on what Sister just said. We are working behind the scenes now on 2 projects. One is which to continue program from January for a longer period of time. I know we are preparing some of the athletes for Special Olympics games coming up, so we're hoping that we get the sponsorship to continue doing what we're doing. And I know for sure that they will do well and represent and develop and represent our country. Is it our country? Is the Special Olympics for the country or just for the country? So there's some national athletes right here, Trinidad and Tobago soca and princesses and soca warriors. The other project we're working on is, I've spoken to the Minister of Sport. He's very busy, as we all know, to get a project done for creating a play field on the outside. So it's just finding out the mechanisms and how that will work. And I promise you that I will not stop and I will not rest until it happens. Because I think what I've seen here and the attitude of everybody here, you deserve every single drop of righteousness that is before you. So I will not stop until that happens. Okay? And before, can we just hand out the certificates and then we will close with the closing remarks after. All right? I just want to recognize, I spoke about Miss Claudia and Mr. Vishnu and Mr. Changaya. You would see on the videos, right, that these people here have really worked hard in trying to understand and merit the South End philosophy, which is fun and enjoyment. And sometimes it don't be so easy. And I telling all you, the first training session that we did, I was a bit, what's the word to use? It was different. It was different for me because when we are doing coaching programs, there's a coaching certificates for children. They teach you a certain way to do it. It's really what the child wants to do, and you enhance that. But obviously here there's a different concept of way you approach your teaching or methodology, and they, Mr. Changai and Mr. Vishnu and Ms. Claudia, taught me a lot. There's a lot about how to deal with them, and I'm sure they taught the coaches as well. There's a specific way I thought at times was frightening at times. But it was magnificent to see the way they handled it and the response of the kids when they did handle it. In front of you now, maybe I need to have one more challenge because I didn't get a jersey for Mr. Changaya. But I promise him, if we can't find a jersey for him, we will make him lose weight so he will fit in the jersey we have. I promise him I will work on that. So let me just, from everybody here, can you please help me in giving these 3 a special round of applause for Thane. Thank you, please. All right.
I just need to say a little something. This was my first time actually playing football, learning about football, knowing anything about football. And I can kick a ball and score a goal. But I got some challenges in how to kick and the technique. And I must say, with Mary and Melissa and Shania and Vanessa, showed me, miss, it's not kicking with your toes. It is kicking to the side with the palm, the instep. And Miss had some serious challenges. So I must say thank you. Thank you, sir, Miss, for teaching me how to play the game of football and learn all the skills. But Mr. Vishnu had it down pack and Mr. Changaya. I was just the one who really did not know anything about football. Tell me about swimming, floor hockey, track and field, badminton, hockey. Yes, not football. So thank you once again, sir.
You'll see it in the video.
So football, it's a good sport today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having patience with me. We can never done it without all your help.
Good morning, sir, and good morning, teachers. First time I play football in school. Second time I play with my friends with football outside. This is better time in the school to play football all over. I time in school that pop me play football, potty. I know what in the school I do. Thanks. Thanks, sir. Thanks, miss. This time I do passing ball and taking ball and that. Thanks.
So I'll say thank you for pushing it to help me to play football, and say thank you for teachers, thank you for the sir, thanks for everything. God bless you guys.
Well, we have come to the end of the formal part of proceedings here at the Lady Hochoy home, and I must admit, in all my years of doing interviews and covering events, this morning was really, really touching, especially to see these children who, we sometimes, call all different types of names, but nevertheless, they are maybe differently able, but they are human beings, and it was really touching to see their reaction and to see that they are no different from either one of us. And as I said, the formal part has ended, but I want to talk to the man who is responsible for the entire 8 weeks. Is it 8 weeks? 8 weeks of training these boys and girls in the sport of football. And I mean, I have not even looked at them on the field as yet, but you are seeing that they have what it takes, to be footballers at their level. So, Anthony Roger, it's always a pleasure. And let me first of all, this interview is a special interview because, we are accustomed with, football with the normal, sector of people in the country. But today is really a different. Now, what was the experience like for you for this 8 weeks? Because I am only here for about an hour or so, and it has touched me deeply. I mean, for 8 weeks, what has that experience been for you?
Well, I tell you what, though, at the end of the day, I believe I have to give God all thanks and praise, because it for me it was nothing I could have prepared for. As I said before, I believe that it would have been so challenging. I wasn't sure if I was able to do it, and my thought first of all was probably try and get as much help as I can with people with the experience of dealing with kids with these Alzheimer's and different disabilities. But boy, by the grace of God, it's amazing. Football is amazing, boy. That through the football people, they were so in tune and so in touch with wanting to be a part of it. They have committed themselves to it. They were here every single day. And it's amazing. The children who the aunties and the uncles were saying that normally gives trouble, didn't, because they wanted to be a part and they were listening to the coaches. They were following the instructions, and they were part of the group, doing the assignments, the drills that we were doing, and it was really good to see. I tell you, today, from when we started on on the 28th, today brought tears to my eye. I almost broke down because I knew where they were, and I knew where my thoughts was before coming into this. And I don't normally do interviews, as you know. I don't really go into the press and stuff. But I really tried. People need to understand what football does. God has blessed us with this game, and we have to really use it to the maximum. And God is real, and He's doing His thing.
What was your biggest challenge during the 8-week period?
I think the biggest challenge was getting the coaches to believe in what the drills that we were doing, because we always thought that in our meetings we thought that we had to do specific and special drills. But George, no, some of the same things. No, you can't go to some of the elite, of course, but some of the basic little things, these are the same things these kids want to do, and they're doing it well. And all we have to do, similarly to children, and I say this out to the country as well, there's a lot of children who play sports and parents believe that he can't and he cannot. I am telling you where these children are now who probably couldn't walk properly and run properly, and now running and walking properly and kicking the ball and turning and dribbling and stuff like that. They know where to head the ball when the ball is in the air, decisions making, when to run, when to stop, how to fall, how to get up. You know, the basic motor skills that we've learned. So I think that for me was phenomenal to see them understand these things and get over it.
What's the next step forward here with these group of athletes?
I think for me they're preparing for Special Olympics, and they had 7 participants here from the school participated in the Olympics in LA, and they have asked that we continue the program to try and develop athletes that potentially could make the national team to represent Trinidad and Tobago to take part in football. What we obviously, like everything else, we have to find funding to make it possible and make it a reality. We've had the help of the likes of Atlantic and smaller helps from Tiger Tanks and also Sportway International. And we're asking for more help from these people that we can continue. I would love to do this for the next, come January, for the next 6 months. I know it's not always as easy as that, but besides the fact of developing a footballer, we are developing different motor skills that is needed for everyday life, where the parents may not, reality doesn't have the time to do it. The school, because of the curriculums, doesn't have the aptitude of teaching the children the right things. And I'm willing to take my time, by the grace of God, to do it. But obviously, like everything else, I have workers with me, and from South End perspective, if we can get help, for sure, we'll continue as much as we can.
What was your biggest sense of enjoyment here with these kids over the past 8 weeks? One thing that, you know, will always stand out with you?
Judge, the thing is, when how do I say this? You come into the perspective, you come into the Lady Hochoy home, and you're coming with the perspective of these children are different from any other children. George, I am telling you, they are not.
Yeah, well, I saw that for myself.
George, they are not. And when you came in, of course, there's some resistance because they don't know you. But I am the children now who would be stand still and doesn't do anything now are running all over the place and jumping and George, these.
It's as though a shackle has been broken off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know, and I'm saying we have to, we can't micro the ability God has given human beings. And sometimes we do that to try and box it, put it in a box where we can't do this and we can't do that. But these kids have shown me by humility and Rouge, just doing your best is amazing what God can do. Because God, I mean, I know I'm going because people know me. I believe in my Jesus, no matter what. And he's saying, look, listen, you made the effort, and I go see it through for you. Yeah. And that's what we've done here, and he's done it again.
Well, Tony Roger, it was a pleasure. Let me wish you and the members of the Lady Hochoy home all the best, and we will chat again.
Really appreciate it. Really.